And welcome back to Newsmax. Now I'm John Bachman. After a lot of anticipation, a new article on Alan Dershowitz, his life, his legal career, and his relationship to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and other unsavory characters was posted today by The New Yorker, and it will be featured in their August issue. In addition to a primer on Professor Dershowitz's personal backstory, the long-form article also describes how women in Dershowitz's Harvard law classes say they made them feel uncomfortable with some of his lectures while discussing the defenses of people like Mike Tyson, O.J. Simpson, and Klaus von Bülow. The article also hits Dershowitz, a noted civil libertarian and expert on criminal defense, for a no-holds-barred style that some people today might describe as victim shaming. That includes the women who have accused Jeffrey Epstein and one woman who has actually accused Dershowitz himself of raping her, that woman being Virginia Roberts Giffrey. And joining us now to talk more about the New Yorker article and his ongoing defense against the accusations that have been leveled against him is Harvard Law Professor Emeritus and Newsmax contributor Alan Dershowitz. Alan, great to talk to you again.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. You know, I have nothing to hide. I never refuse to answer any questions because I am a victim of a serious crime. I am a victim of perjury and false accusations, and all victims of crime should speak out. One of my accusers today in the New Yorker article admitted for the first time that she made up stories about Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Richard Branson, claiming that she had sex tapes on them. And now she admits she made it all up for money. And so you would think maybe the media would say, there's no reason to credit this woman. The other woman who accused me made up stories about Al Gore and Tipper Gore and Bill Clinton and many, many other world leaders. These are serial liars who have falsely accused prominent people for money for many years. Why anybody believes them, I don't know. There isn't a scintilla of evidence in 4.5 years of investigation that I ever met these women, that I was ever in the same city as these women.
Well, Alan, one of the kind of insinuations, I guess, in this article is that by protesting and defending yourself so vigorously against these accusations, you may have made the situation worse. And I want to quote something from one of your Harvard colleagues that says you're going too far. Former federal court judge Nancy Gertner, she's quoted in the article, and she says he, meaning you, Alan Dershowitz, has squandered his position as a Harvard law professor and civil libertarian for the sole purpose of being on TV. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's absurd. Imagine Nancy Gertner if a woman were accused, were a victim of rape, and nobody believed her. And she got on television and repeated that she was a victim, she was a victim, she was a victim. Would Nancy Gertner or anybody else condemn the woman? I'm not comparing what I've been going through with being raped, of course not. But being accused of rape for 4.5 years without a scintilla of evidence is, pretty hard on my family, on my children, on my grandchildren, on my wife. And I'm going to fight back. And I'm going to continue to prove that there's nothing to this story, no matter what Nancy Gertner or anybody else says about me.
And and this is not me saying this, Professor Dershowitz, but most of the reaction to that statement has been, well, what about the victims of these alleged crimes? And that's what most of the media is saying in response to your statements like that.
But they're not victims. If they falsely accuse me and I never met them, I'm the victim. They're not the victims. I'm going to continue to call them liars and perjurers. That's the truth. It's not victim shaming. It's criminal shaming. They are criminals. They belong in jail. Remember, if 2 cases recently, 10 or 12 Israelis were accused of raping a woman in Cyprus. Now it turns out she made up the whole story. A man was accusing many prominent British officials of pedophilia. Now he's in jail for 18 years for making up the story. It's really important that victims of false accusations come forward and defend themselves and prove that there's a lying. And I'm going to continue to do it no matter what the media says about it. I'm a principal.
What about somebody who's been falsely accused who doesn't have your legal knowledge base to defend themselves? What does that person do?
Well, they come to me and I defend them pro bono. I do most of my cases now pro bono. Today I got somebody a presidential commutation. I've helped save 3 people recently from long prison terms on a pro bono basis. So if you don't have the resources and the money, come to me. I do most of my cases pro bono. I've represented many women, many who are very, very poor. A woman who was institutionalized in a mental hospital, a student who was harassed by professors, a woman falsely accused of murder. I'm going to continue to represent poor people, but the fact that I have resources shouldn't deny me the ability to fight for my own.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you see what somebody can be up against. You've never been charged with a crime. You've never been implicated in a crime. You've been accused, but it hasn't really.
FBI investigation of me. I've called for it in the Wall Street Journal.
Yes.
I want the FBI to investigate me. I want my.
And it's all I hate to cut you off, Professor, but we got to go there. It's all in the New Yorker article. You've called for this several times, and also I encourage people to check out Professor Dershowitz's articles on Newsmax.com, where he's defended himself as well. Look forward to having you back, Professor Dershowitz. Thank you for your time. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest-growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems, or go to NewsmaxTV.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.